His name was Jason, and today is his birthday.
Alright, hey, JT's Reborn back, and this time I'm going to be interviewing AJ Punk 15. He's going to give his thoughts on every single Friday the 13th movie, and, let's go ahead and restart with the very first Friday the 13th movie. Um, what did you think of the first Friday the 13th movie? See your box
Um,
set there.
well, I had it the Blu-ray just for the.
Oh, you got the Blu-ray?
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely ahead of its time. It's kind of a campy, fun slasher flick. Sean Cunningham did a pretty damn good job directing the film itself. Uh, we had to see a young Kevin Bacon get stabbed to the neck.
That's always pretty cool.
Get to see some crazy kills, and it was a different twist to the film. We always thought it was going to be, well, when I first watched it, I always thought it was going to be like a guy, like this big macho guy or something, just the way they were getting killed was, like you needed strength or something, but it turns out, we get a huge twist, and it's actually Jason's mother,
hmm
and we don't even get to see Jason, and it was just something different to add to the slasher genre around that time, and I think it worked out for good.
Yeah, I mean, the first one's still a pretty solid movie. I was watching it like the other day, and I just thought I think the funniest part though is when his mom is like, starts talking to herself. She's like, "Kill her, mommy, kill her, yeah, yeah," and she just like kind of goes into like this really provocative like talk, and it's just really funny.
Yeah, I mean, it gave her like a sense of purpose, I guess.
Yeah, it
Why
gave
she
her like a
was,
crazy
I
nature
guess
though.
she just completely went insane and lost it, I guess, eventually with the camp counselors and stuff.
hmm It's pretty solid, It's a pretty solid movie. It's definitely not my favorite in the series, but it's better than a lot of the sequels.
Yeah,
All right, what would you give it out of 10? Do you have a rating?
out of all the Friday the 13th films, I guess that's what I'll rate it on. I won't rate it as a horror film itself. Um, I definitely would give it an 8 out of 10, a solid 8 out of 10.
All right, that's a pretty good rating. I gave my rating with Danny. I can't even like remember right now. I think it was 7.5 out of 10 because it's good, but I prefer
Yeah,
I prefer Halloween because it adds a little more suspense, and this is kind of just like they go and like
yeah, it's
let
like
this
kill,
on.
kill, kill, get to the ending kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's they go to the killer instead of the killer coming to them, but you know, still it's a
Yeah,
pretty solid movie. I mean, and it leads into
that's
part two, which leads to our favorite character.
Voorhees himself.
Exactly. So let's move on to part two. AJ Punk 15 gives the first Friday the 13th movie an 8 out of 10. That's pretty solid. And now we're on to Friday the 13th part two. Now, when I first thought of this, it's just like, well, what do you think's the killer's gonna be? Well, Mrs. Voorhees is dead. Is it gonna be her dead decapitated corpse or something like that, like in the video game? But no, it's actually Jason who comes to extract some act. I don't know. It's a dumb pun. Like revenge on some of the counselors. I always thought it was like Jason's like coming back. It's just like, did he watch his mom die, or why didn't he do anything? Why didn't he be like, "Mommy, look, it's me"? That's always something I kind of had issues with the series. But we still get some cool kills. I mean, part two I don't think is as good as part one, but it's still
No.
pretty solid. What do you think of it?
Uh, I thought it was cool with Jason, before he got his iconic hockey match in part 3 and stuff. Um, Going around with the sack on his face. Uh, the second one was more of like, to me, for the first part of it, was like a murder mystery kind of
Mm-hmm.
beat up suspense kind of thing. And then it kind of took to, more of the slash at the end of the day, and chase next around, and, stuff like that. And it was like I said, a fun slasher flick. But to me, it wasn't like a great staple in the events of this, out of all the films.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I probably wouldn't rate this 6.5 out of 10. It's not one of my favorites, but it's still a fun one to watch every now and then.
Yeah, it's fun to watch for some of the over-the-top kills, but it's not as good as part
Yeah.
one. I mean, we get a cool moment where Betsy Palmer comes back. I thought that was pretty solid. I mean, the ending just kind of just flat out just tried adding that shock value of like the original, but you're not going to top him just popping out of the like. That's like, oh my god, that was a great scary moment. This one, I mean, he comes through the glass, which is pretty predictable, but you know, it's creepy to see his deformed face. And it kind of just copies the original's ending. It's just like, well, yeah. Oh well. So, you give it a 6.5?
Yeah.
Alright, now, let's move on to the very gimmicky part 3. And I'm going to put on these really awful 3D glasses. But you know what, it adds to the camp value. But, ow, it hurts your eyes just looking through these things. Well, part 3, not as good as part 1 or 2, but you know, the 3D it's funnier than the other ones, I'll say that. So what do you think of...
I do enjoy part 3. It's one of those ones that I got a guilty pleasure kind of...
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, he gets his iconic hockey mask, even if it's kind of weird how he finds it and shedding or something like that. But, you know, there's a difference between the pace of these films. It kind of went to what Elm Street did and took it to the extremes of, you know, gimmick horror films. And it's, you know, it's a great film. I know, like, you know, I'm not put it down what I mean. It's not one of my favorites in the series, but the kills and stuff is always fun to watch. It's great to see in the shed, you know, he's I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like the poster for the original poster for part 3. I think it's pretty solid. I mean, just going through the curtain, he's got the machete with the dripping blood. I mean, the first 3 posters are really classic, especially the first poster. It's just like the silhouette of the background. That's a great poster. Part 2's is a lot more simpler, but part 3's is a pretty, you know, cool artistic picture. And, you know, it's good to see Jason, you know, back in the second movie, you know, as the main guy, and he gets his iconic hockey mask, which most people associate.
True.
I think the burlap sack is creepier, but the hockey mask is way more memorable.
It is, yeah. The burlap sack is creepier, I gotta be sure.
Yeah.
I would rate this one probably a 6.5 out of 10, just like the last one.
Yeah. So you think they're about the same?
They're about the same.
This one's I think part 3 is a little more entertaining than 2, for like some of the dumb moments, like the part where just the forced 3D, just how they're always like, look at my yo-yo, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
I mean, yeah, like coming to stuff like that, like there's a scene in this film, he takes an arrow, shoots it, you can clearly see the string. I mean, yeah, the movie is dated.
Yeah, that affects...
Mrs. Eye or something.
Yeah, that effect's actually pretty cool, like when you see it, when he shoots it, like with the 3D, because it comes right at your face, you're like, whoa. Whoa. Like the thing just like, kind of just went, whoa. Oh well, but sorry for that, like, interruptions. But anyways, part 3, you know, it's entertaining, but I don't think it's as good as the first 2.
No, sure, yeah.
Alright. Anyways. So that's what you think, you know, another 6.5. Now we're on to the final chapter. Yeah, final, right? Oh, we got a shitload more of these. We got 12.
Yeah.
Alright, your thoughts?
Part 4 is actually, it's not my favorite, my second favorite in all the series. Just for the simple fact that they actually had a great story with this one, some great characters. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think Marty McFly is in this one?
No, it's not Marty McFly, it's George McFly, Crispin Glover, and he's crazy in the movie. He does the dance.
He's got his own special dance, right?
Yeah, he does like the yes chants of Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. There's actual, part 4 disc, I think there's like a step-by-step dance tutorial. Which I kind of...
Oh, Jimmy's Dead Dance Moves, that's right. I'm gonna have to like pop this thing in and check it out.
Yeah. Maybe you could add it in as like a special feature during these videos or something.
Oh yeah, just like as a bonus thing, Jimmy's dance videos. I'll probably do that myself at the very end. You know what? I am going to do that at the very end, just watching Jimmy's dead dance videos. Okay, just for bonus points, we're going to do Jimmy's dead dance moves. And just take a look at it because this sounds hilarious. So what would you give
Tom Jarvis in this film too.
Oh yeah, Tommy Jarvis, Jason's biggest rival.
Hands down the biggest rival. And I'm really hoping that Platinum Dunes take advantage of this.
Yeah, I mean they need to bring back Tommy Jarvis, or even
That
if
would
this,
be
or Creighton Duke from Jason Goes to Hell. He was pretty cool. You know, these killers, they need a good rival.
That's it. Yep.
They do. So do you have a rating for part 4?
Just for the crazy ass ending with Tommy Jarvis changing himself, Corey Feldman changing himself to make him look like a big Jason. This one's gonna get 9 out of 10 for me.
9 out of 10?
9 out of 10.
Ah, awesome. You like this one more than the first one.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's got some inventiveness. I forget my rating that I gave for it before, but yeah, the people who are watching should probably look back and be like, okay, there we go. Alright, so part 4, the final chapter. Yeah, right. So we move on to part 5, A New Beginning. So they wanted to do the same thing with part 2, introduce Jason. They kill him off in part 4. Now they want to take the series in a new direction with a new killer. That's Tom. I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. Part 5. Yeah, it's hilarious for the overacting. My favorite part's the part where he's just like, I got 2 chocolate bars, and just it's an overacting frenzy. Like, I can overact you. No, I can overact you, and it's out of control. I mean, Corey Feldman's back for a minute, which is cool. The ending doesn't make any sense at all. Tommy speaks 24 words, as it says in the set here. Total words, number of words spoken by Tommy Jarvis, 24. Number of stalled cars, 2. Number of stalled chainsaws, 1. I love the Friday facts, because they do have fun with it.
That is a great set. I got to admit, when they released those.
Yeah, it's a great set. I can't wait for the Blu-rays set.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
But surprisingly enough, I'm actually a big fan of part 5. I know it's corny and cheesy as hell, and it's not, totally based at like a camp per se as the rest of them.
Yeah, I do like that how it takes away a little bit from the camp setting.
Yeah, I like the fact that to me the final chapter was getting Jason, and then just like I know Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween, they had to bring it back and bring back Jason, so they found a cool way to bring him back. A lot of people shit on it.
Yeah, this one gets shit on a lot. I mean, it is a pretty bad movie in my eyes, but it's like a guilty pleasure type movie.
Yeah,
definitely a guilty pleasure.
One of these films I can go back in and watch, and just to see Tommy Jarvis flip some dude over and land on the table.
Oh, the table scene, that was hilarious. It's just like
just came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, it's like a wrestling match.
How
about the family was it the motorcycle? How about the family, was it on the motorcycles where they're just going, yeah, they're going crazy and apeshit?
Mom, he hurt me.
He hurt me. Part 5 is hilarious. I could watch part 5, over like I could watch it for like its stupid value. It's one that I enjoy probably more than a lot of them, but it's, as far as being a good movie, it's definitely like one of the shittiest ones. Okay, well, what would you give part 5 out of 10?
Even though it is one of my favorites, I'm going to have to give it a 7 out of 10. Just for the fact it's not a great film for what it is, but it's a fun, campy horror film to watch.
Yeah, it's really just a guilty pleasure movie.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. This is my favorite in the series because it kind of is like a precursor to Scream with its kind of meta horror, but it's funny, and it has like that classic Universal monster drive. And
it brings it back to I think the only other one that actually is based on Crystal Lake was the second. I don't think the third one was based on Crystal Lake.
No, I know it's like the surrounding areas. I think
and actually brought it back to Lake, and actually had a great story about Tommy thinking that, you know,
Yeah, it just
getting back to life, and
yeah. Tommy's a
it's pretty
completely
cool how he,
different character though.
yeah, and they didn't have like useless crap for the plot. I mean, you had the camp itself for your main killing. You had
Yeah.
Tommy's little side story where
Did
he
they
gets
change it to
arrested.
what was it? Greensboro? No, not Greensboro. Greenwood, Green Lake, something like that. I can't remember the name
Yeah.
off the top of my head. Sorry, people, who are watching this.
Can't remember exactly, but
Yeah, so Jason gets resurrected in this one. They completely ignore the ending. Pardon?
comes back as a zombie pretty much.
Yeah, he pretty much was a zombie, but now he's like super powered. But the thing with part 6 though is they don't follow up on part 5 because part 5 didn't make any sense at all. It was pretty shitty.
Yeah,
But Tommy's wearing the Jason mask. I like to think of this as just like one big nightmare. Like you just had a
Sure.
nightmare and you just like, okay, that's all part 5 really is, just a nightmare.
yeah,
Alright, part 6 is just like my favorite of the original 8. I mean, it's just one I love to pop in. The paintball thing, just some of the comedy.
there's some classic scenes in that paintball. You know, he gets like crippled the head, I think, with the machete.
Let me read one of my favorite Friday facts.
Sure.
Average amount of time it takes for characters to get over a friend's death, 2 minutes. I mean, they had fun with this. The director really like put some effort into the movie. And it's not your typical Friday the 13th film.
He had a little more into it than the normal Friday the 13th films, and
It wasn't
the
lazy.
ending climax scene with Tommy Jarvis as the boat, choking Jason with the cord, putting him in the water. I thought that was great and a perfect way to end it.
Yeah, it's just
Bringing
it's-
it all
mhm,
way around in like a vicious circle.
mhm. It just works out very well. So, what would you give part 6 out of 10?
Part 6, I'm going to give it 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10? Yeah, it's up there definitely. It's definitely my favorite. All right, part 6. That was a pretty solid entry. Let's move on to Friday the 13th, part 7, The New Blood. Now, what's cool about this is it introduces Kane Hodder in the role of Jason Voorhees, and his stunt work is incredible. Kane Hodder and he is probably the best Jason. I mean, I also really do like Derek Mears from the remake. Ken Kurtzinger wasn't too bad either, but Kane Hodder like owns the role. He should have been in Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
But part 7 it deals with Jason. He gets resurrected by a girl named Tina, who has like telekinetic powers, and she's able to move things, set things on fire, just make crazy shit happen. And just seeing her fight against Jason, like using her mind powers, like throwing stuff in, like shooting nails, dumping gasoline, dumping a roof, throwing a couch, throwing a plant with a decapitated head in it, and just Kane Hodder just going through all that shit was just awesome. New Blood is entertaining. The thing that makes New Blood is Kane Hodder to me and the fight scenes. But other than that, it's okay.
Yeah. It's not one of the great stories of the series. They tried to go too much, I think, with this, but take it into a supernatural kind of way. And for me, it didn't work as well, other than the fact that Kane Hodder was amazing as Jason. To me, it was just, it wasn't my favorite, put that way.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the New Blood kind of, but I just think Kane Hodder, the fight scenes are pretty sweet, and Kane Hodder is awesome. Just his stunt work, just the shit he goes through. So what would you give part 7, The New Blood, out of 10?
I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10? Yeah, that might be pretty fair. Oh, I forgot we have to talk about this next one. Friday the 13th, part 8.
Do we need to talk about it?
Friday the 13th, part 8. Jason takes his time heading to Manhattan. That's another one of my titles.
Spends 5 minutes in Manhattan. Should have been the name of the movie.
No, I had the title when I was discussing this with Danny. Friday the 13th, part 8. Jason on a boat heading to Manhattan, filmed in Vancouver. But I also like the other one. Jason takes his time heading to Manhattan, but somehow like ends up in Vancouver. But it's supposed to be Manhattan. That's pretty funny. Part 8 sucks.
I'm really surprised the Ninja Turtles were not involved.
Oh, that would have been awesome. Jason going up against the Ninja Turtles.
Came out around the same time.
I know, it's just.
And they're in New York, so.
Hmm. I mean, I wanted Jason to kill people like just all the time, just go all out and just go stab, 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 stab. You know, like every person around in New York. That would have been
Yeah.
sweet. But no, no, they just didn't do that. He doesn't. If they're in the back alleyways, yeah, sure, Jason would go out of his way to kill. I mean, the shot of Jason
Yeah.
in Times Square is fantastic. I mean, the teaser trailer for this movie was great. It makes you just like, okay, this seems like it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun, but
Right.
no, no. But the director, I
Everyone
guess, is like,
everyone was like,
Part 8 sucks. I mean, anyone can say it.
Not a,
I mean, God. I like the post. I like the idea of Jason going to Manhattan and slashing up everyone, but they just why?
Yep.
He just never goes, and he just gets killed by toxic waste, and then he just somehow is back in the next movie. But he's like, I just don't like Part 8. It's on a boat.
yeah, it's not a fun film.
How does that boat even get there? Does it go through like the Great Lakes Channel or something? That's the only way I can think of. Or like it gets like transported, and then people are like, well, we never checked the hub. It's just someone else's boat, so here we go. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
It was like a school field trip or something, I believe.
Yeah, it's a school field trip, but just the way Jason, like, I guess he was on the boat the whole time. Like, why he would jump back in the water, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just Part 8 sucks. Do you have a rating for it? Because I just don't like Part 8.
Part 8, just for the fact that it is Kane Hodder. If you do get that kind of like scene in Manhattan and stuff, I'll give it a 3 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, the kills aren't even that great here.
Oh, now we're. Oh wait, we're on.
He
Okay.
comes to get his head knocked off from a punch. I mean, that's a bit ridiculous, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Even for a horror film.
Oh, I know. Just like this guy's just trying to punch out Jason. Jason's just like, well, screw you.
Yeah.
Well, if it was Rocky, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
All right. Man, the from 8 till Jason X, those 3 are the worst. These are the worst, like, Friday the 13th movies. Now, I'm afraid, I'm sorry, Adam, but we now have to discuss Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Even though they made Jason X, Friday vs. Jason, and remake. But Jason Goes to Hell is worse than Part 8. That sucks. I mean, Jason, he gets blown up at the beginning of the movie. Some random guy, like some doctor or whatever, just eats his heart and becomes possessed. And then Jason has to transfer his soul. So really, Jason's not even in the movie until like the very end and at the very beginning. But I guess there's one cool character by the name of Creighton Duke. I mean, I really like that guy. He had the cool factor to him. But he's kind of an asshole. He's just like, I'll give you. He just breaks some guy's fingers. Like, well, you need a price. Just because he's an asshole.
Is this the same film with the Necronomicon?
Yes, I was going to get to that, but
Okay. Yeah, I've only seen Jason Goes to Hell twice, and it was once when I was a kid, and once on TV this past Halloween on AMC, Fright Night or something.
oh yeah, AMC was playing it. I mean, I started watching it there, and then I finally picked up the DVD. But
Yeah.
I love reading. Let me read the scene selections to you. Scene 1, Nightlight. Scene 2, The Naked and the Dead. That's pretty fun. Scene 3, main title, Autopsy. Scene 4, Heart Transplant. Scene 5, Newsflash, for all time. For all time. 6.
The only thing.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Scene 6, The Price of Jason Burger. 7, Happy Hitchhikers. Wait, Scene 8, Sex and Death on Crystal Lake. 9, Late Night Date. 10, Strange Possessed Cop. 11, The Girl's Mother's Murder. 12, The High Price of Information. 13, Steven's Escape. The Voorhees House. Saving Jessica. Mayhem at the Station. 17, Dying at the Diner. 18, It Will Never Be Over. 19, Rebirth the Monster. 20, The Living and the Undead. But I just think my favorite is The Naked and the Dead. Or Sex and Dead. That's funny. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, the one really cool thing I like about this film, which is not saying very much considering how bad the film itself is, is how he incorporated Evil Dead into it,
Yes.
and I like that part because I thought they could have done the Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
And Ash needed to win. I just wanted to see Ash be like, "Yo, she bitch,
I'm-
let's go." I wanted
Yeah.
that to be made. The comics were
Like-
great.
I've heard many. I've never read the comics myself, but I've heard about them and I've read online about them.
Yeah,
Like,
just
to me, it seemed like Jason Goes to Hell wasn't had anything to do with like anything else before it. It was just like a setup film for Freddy vs. Jason. And
exactly.
Well,
Continuity-wise,
I
it doesn't
guess
make sense.
Ash wasn't as big at the time when they filmed it, I guess. And
Yeah, now he's become a. But you know, Jason's look is terrible. Like in this movie,
yeah,
like I'd like to think that the toxic waste he ended up back there. Maybe like his body like grew back. That's the only way I'd see it working. But this is the first one done by New Line Cinema, and you know, New Line kind of like screwed up the series. There's an interesting video, like how New Line ruined the Friday the 13th thing by some guy. He went into great detail, and it's really good about like
Yeah.
why the movie sucks. But like the New Line ones suck. But you know, I'll let everyone be the judge of that. I forget the rating I gave this one with Danny, but you know, Jason Goes to Hell. I'll give it credit for this. It is a good movie. Like it's a good movie to make fun of with a bunch of people. It's like so bad that you know it's entertaining. I mean,
exactly, yeah. Plus, we get to see that cool scene with Freddy coming out and grabbing.
oh yeah, that part
Yeah,
got me, gets you hyped.
that was pretty cool.
God,
Yeah.
well we'll get to Freddy vs. Jason in a second. But do you have a rating for this one?
Probably 3 out of 10 again.
3 out of 10. Okay,
The
well,
next one, I'm going to be straight up right now. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10 because I completely hate it.
oh Jason,
Jason
Jason
X. The first
X.
splash down the toilet in this series.
Oh yeah,
It's
this
the
is the
house
one you
with the
just
red
take a.
thing.
This
Yeah.
one's like taking a shit on a pile of shit and then throwing the shit
That one's
into a
pretty
DVD
sick.
processor, and then that DVD is processed. You know, it comes with smell-o-shit-o-vision, and you know, just is, oh, it's total garbage. But you know, for those of you who don't know, the plot of this movie is, so you're 2455. They unthawed Jason, who's been like some cryostasis thing, and he starts killing people. Yeah, he was just in the. Apparently, they locked him up
Yep.
in some test facility. So really, this kind of they shouldn't have made this and just went for Freddy vs. Jason because it kind of spoils the fact that Jason is alive.
Yeah.
So, what the hell? It ruins the fact. And this poster is just really dumb. Yeah, in fact, this movie is really dumb. I do think Jason's upgrade is kind of cool looking. Which,
Yeah.
you know, and I do like the freeze death, like where he shoves her face in like liquid nitrogen and it goes whoosh, and he just smashes
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty cool.
And
But a lot of films just seem like they're just trying to do too much cliche stuff. I mean, every horror film eventually, back in the 90s, tried to send their villain to space. I mean, Critter's done it, the Leprechaun done it, Jason's done it.
Hellraiser.
There's another one I just can't remember, but yeah.
Well, Pinhead did it too.
Really?
Yeah, Hellraiser 4,
Wow.
Bloodline. I did the reviews
Yeah,
on the Hellraiser movies, and I mean, that one's actually an example of where the space plot makes sense. Like, it makes
Okay.
sense why he's in space. It's not like he just ended up there like Jason. He's meant to be destroyed in space. And it's a great way to end the series, and it's a pretty solid. It's definitely the best Hellraiser movie. But this movie, there is one really funny scene where they try and recreate how the 80s were, and they have like the sleeping bag guy. They're just like, let's have sex. And then Jason just like stabs him, and he just takes him to the sleeping bag. He's like, they're like, oh no, shh, no. The CGI is awful. Wait, you want me to read the back to you? Because this is really funny. If you're looking for terror, here comes a perfect 10. Did you just hear that? If you're looking for terror, here comes a perfect 10. What perfect 10? And what a bunch of lying assholes.
Perfect negative 10. Maybe they forgot the negative symbol.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what? That's what I'm going to give this review.
Yeah, I gotta just write it on my DVD and just go, negative 10. Oh, wow, this one is bad. Like, really bad. It's not even, like, funny bad. Well, there's some scenes that are, like, entertaining, like the sleeping bag thing.
Yeah.
Well, this one just sucks. It's
Play
not,
with it.
it's the, this one, I'm really torn between which one is the worst between these two, but I'm gonna go with Jason X.
Jason X, and at least Jason goes to hell. There was a bit of a story. The Necronomicon was back.
Yeah, and they had the cool character of Creighton Duke, but Jason X is just a pile of dung keep. All right, let's flash forward a year. The most anticipated horror film of all time. I remember when the trailer came out, I had the countdown on my computer, and I was just like, oh, Freddy vs. Jason, Freddy vs. Jason, Freddy vs. Jason.
All was talk all over the world when this film came out. I mean, it was explosive. It was, everyone wanted to see it. Everyone wanted to know who would win. I mean, they even went to Vegas. They opened up, like...
Oh, and I lost the call. Great. Oops, sorry about that. You know, our signal just died. You know, sometimes when we do these things, they just end up not working. But anyways, as we were saying, Freddy vs. Jason, when this movie came out, the hype was unbelievable. As Adam was saying, everyone wanted to see this. They wanted to see who wins. And it just turned out to be, you know, one of the best versus movies ever made.
For sure. Probably the best.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not talking, like, I mean, my favorite versus movie has got to be either this or King Kong vs. Godzilla. But Godzilla has a lot of versus movies. But I'm talking about, like, two different series kind of crossing over.
Yeah.
Alien vs. Predator sucked. I mean, they did the Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. They did, you know, Dino Shark versus Super Gator. They've done, like, many shitty... Oh, Boa versus Python. Stuff like that, but... Sharknado versus Mega Piranha. Super Shark versus Mega Piranha. That's the next one. Wow, so much...
Oh my god, we need to tweet that.
We need to, you know, get this idea going. I'm just going to turn up this volume. Exactly, but anyways, Freddy vs. Jason is awesome. Robert Englund is great. I like how they had, you know, Freddy stronger in the dream world, Jason stronger in the real world. They had, you know, the reason this movie took so long to get made was it was just difficult to getting everyone to agree, like both studios.
Exactly, yeah.
I think they should remake this with the new series, but I still want to see Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash.
Yeah, imagine right now, wouldn't it be Freddy vs. Jason versus Mia?
Mia. Yeah, but yeah, no one cares. No one cares about Mia. It's all about Ash.
Yeah, but it really is all about Ash.
Yeah. I mean, Ash.
I mean, that.
No, this call drop again. That would really suck. Ah. Alrighty then. So AJ Punk's computer, while we were recording, as you can tell, died. So I'm just saying this afterwards. If you want to hear more of his thoughts, I mean, he did like the movies, but his laptop completely fried, so he couldn't finish recording the remainder of the video / like review. So I'm basically telling you that he did enjoy the movies, and I thank AJ Punk 15 for being a part of the video and helping me review, and glad he got to, you know, give his thoughts. And so now we're going to switch it over to when I was interviewing Spider Jack Angel, and then I'll do my concluding thoughts after that.